What is the difference between watching porn and being cucked?
Watching porn and being cucked.
Yeah. The only difference I could think of is that being cucked is like live in person, but it's still just like watching porn. You're watching people fuck.
I mean, true. I see where you're going with this because, like, yeah, I mean, it is the same thing because you're just watching it live. But I feel like people who like to like be cucked, they like they really like the thought and they like watching someone else dominate their significant other.
Is cucked that though? Is cucked being like your significant other being fucked by someone else? Or is it just watching two people fuck?
No, it's your significant other being fucked by someone else. So it's like, obviously your wife, husband, whatever, they have to be getting fucked by someone else, and then you're watching it. And then now it's kind of weird too because at first it was
Now it's weird.
now it's weird because at first that was right. No, but it's weird now because at first I think it was literally just them watching, but now it's kind of turned into now like they'll be like involved but very slightly, like they'll jerk off over their wife as their wife's getting like pounded out or
Right.
whatever, or they'll like, which to me I don't get how it's cucking, but like they'll still get like a blowjob during the sex or whatever, and I'm like, isn't it just a threesome at that point? It's not really.
A hybrid cuck threesome.
Yeah, it's like I don't really get, but yeah, I feel like a lot of people who like the cucking shit, which is, let's break that down real fast. Fuck these questions. Then we can just change it right back to no. But why is that? When did that become a thing?
Cucking?
Yeah.
I think it's always been a thing. Like everything's always been a thing. It's just recently it's been more like, hey, it's okay to be this. It's like it's part of your sexuality. Sexuality is a spectrum. Do whatever the fuck makes you happy.
What's the fuck, Ozark. Ozark. That whole show is based off his wife getting like him like. He wasn't there, but he was there. So it was like it's all based off one whole big cuck.
I only saw the first season. I know he found the video of his wife getting
Right,
fucked.
right. But then he would constantly watch it, and then if you stay with the first season, there's that moment where he's fucking his wife. He does the exact same thing that one dude
Right, but
did.
then she hates it, right? Or
Yeah,
like,
but basically that was her trigger. Like he knows,
right.
right? But yeah, she doesn't like it but she allowed that dude to do it because she liked him, and she
Right.
doesn't like that at all. But that's how he knew. I mean, that's how she knew that he knew, right?
Right.
But in a sense, he kept watching it.
Did he get off to it?
But my whole thing is, is he? Because if he,
In order to be a cuck, you have to get off on it.
well, but then
There's also just like punishing yourself.
but then he used the same exact moves.
Right.
So I feel like he was getting off to it. If
Right.
if you're doing the same exact shit.
This is very deep. This is very complex.
We took it just very, but yeah, because I think that we got to look into like what's the deep psychological thing with that. Do you think it starts from like? Do you think like they were possibly like maybe they had like walked in on like their parents or like their sister, but they didn't know, and then they were just like, I like this, and then they kind of just morphed into that.
Like, and now it's their way of controlling walking in on somebody.
Yeah. And yeah, because probably as like kids or whatever, they couldn't say like, "Oh no, do this now."
Or didn't have the capacity.
No, Daddy, you hitting that wrong.
Mom, put your pinky in his ass.
What are you doing? It's just there, all pink and so smiling at me. It needs to be stuffed.
You're wasting so much energy. There's so much more you could do.
Why?
Because cucking is like being the cuck. It's weird because it's seen as like a submissive thing, but it's really you being in control of the situation.
Right.
Because like
Ooh,
in a healthy relationship, I'm guessing it's like you talk about it, you let this happen, basically.
Mm-hmm. So then at that point, it's people who like control.
Yeah.
So
But being pretend submissive.
pretend submissive.
So weird.
Because now I'm thinking, okay, what about those? Because there's dudes who like when they have threesomes, right? And it's two girls. They literally just like there's a point where they like to step out and then just watch them go at it. So then at that point, does that count as cucking, or is it still a threesome that they was just in, but they
And
just
they're
kind of
just taking a break.
They're just taking a break as they're.
But a break. I need some electrolytes.
But like, there's
We've all been there, right?
Come on, right? But there's like, yeah, there's like a thing for that. The like dude's just sitting back now watching like his girl, another girl like go at it, and he's just jerking off. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, man. If anyone knows the psychology of like,
Someone is. That's the funny part.
being
okay,
cucked
guys,
and,
let's
like,
break
what's
this down.
Yeah, break it down for us. That'd be great. Because we're never gonna look into it. It's just I like these theories though.
That's wild though.
Yeah, that's a. But yeah, difference between watching porn and being cucked.
I feel like somehow it's gonna get flipped into like if you don't like cucking, it's obviously that you're insecure about your relationship.
Yeah,
And it's like
no,
I just don't want someone else fucking.
this thing kind of would break my heart. And,
Yeah, I'm not cool with
I
that.
don't want to deal with that emotionally. And,
And I don't want to watch it as it's happening. It's really weird.
because there's people that like they're like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna prove I'm insecure, and then it happens,
Yeah.
and then they can never get out of their head like, oh, he fucked you better than me, huh?
That's the
He
worst.
fucked you better than me, huh?
That's the worst.
I've never heard you make that noise with me. Shit like that, all it just becomes double 10 times insecure.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Dude, that should be a skit. An insecure person who,
The insecure cuck.
yeah, whose wife wants to be cucked, and he's like, all right, and then like throughout the whole thing.
Oh man, I'm sure that's real too. Like they get off on being insecure while being cucked. Oh man, porn is literally everything.
That's
Sexual
what they
acts
do.
are literally everything you could think of.
It's no longer fantasy. It's therapy.
Yep,
That's how
it's
I'm.
therapy.
That's how I'm.
It's sexual healing.
Shout out to Marvin. He knew what was going on.
Yeah, but he was a cuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
just 30 minutes of us staring off into the distance, really thinking about this.
All the songs make sense.
All right, I gotta go. Actually,
Mark, why are you?
I gotta deal with some shit.
I need to find a girl and then find a dude
For her,
to let me then fuck her
so I could finally heal.
and watch him suffer. I transfer my pain.
Oh, what if that's a thing too? Like you get a girl, you find a dude for her, you get cucked, you let them develop a relationship, and then you cuck him, and you see him cry, you see him get crushed.
Niggas passing cucks like fucking the flu.
Some weird.
It's your turn.
It's like months of like edging yourself to like finally just cuck the person and see the light drying out of his eyes, something like that.
That's a Mark thought. No one would be able to
came
go
to
through
me.
with that shit.
I would never go through it. On paper, I could write it out, but it would never happen.
My
much work.
schematics
Yes, blueprints for some great young mind out there.
for the cuck.
For the great prodigy cook.
What's that movie? Don Juan or whatever.
Yeah.
The sequel is it's all about a cuck. Scarlett Johansson and the other dude, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.